The meteorologist development plan, I mentioned it in the staff meeting earlier. I wanted to go a little more detail, especially if your focal points uh, of programs that you want to add things. You can see where we can add local items. What is this plan? It's on the CLC. You'll see on the main page. There's a link to it, and it's a curricula for meteorologists, and that's all meteorologists, just not the quote the old time we referred to them as interns, but like Ian, this is actually covers now from GS5 all the way up to senior forecasters. This curricula supports our office, WPC, and the Hurricane Center meteorologist, and it's based on the competency model as a framework similar to what the new hires were going to be into. And it's like I said, it's designed for entry-level meteorologists all the way through the experienced senior meteorologist. It's built on a learn, do, lead philosophy. It's not used to determine promotions like the one for the new employees. There's multiple levels. There's a basic level for GS 5 through 7, an intermediate level at GS 9 through 11, and advanced levels for GS 12 and 13s. The way the progression goes, it starts out with the learn, do, lead paradigm, where let's say when Ian came in, he would really start on the basic level and become familiar with the mission program areas. And as he develops with time, he would go to the intermediate, or the new employee would go to the intermediate. Well, what happens is that when for, like, let's say for myself, or let's say for Matt or Mike, the Mikes and so forth, if you want to get more expertise in some kind of meteorological training for your focal point duties, or even for leadership, that would be in the advanced. And what this does is, in the past for these plans, we kind of had a generic national plan, but it didn't include everything. So it kind of evolved where groups of Sioux and like the Carolinas, Virginia, we'd share stuff, and this is kind of what we would do. Then it kind of expanded to regions, and it was set for regions for a long time. Now it's kind of given a national level, and plus they've set up the CLC, so it's a lot easier to find. Like I shared a power spreadsheet with all the information for like Ian and Vicky and Jordan when they all came on. So it will kind of organize things a little bit better. The other thing is not all items in the basic and intermediate levels they're not required. For example, we do not issue upper air training here because we don't have upper air. I would imagine the offices in Montana don't do tropical training. So we can kind of coordinate, and we have the ability to eliminate things that aren't relevant to our forecast area. But on the other hand, if you know that you'd like to go do an upper air office someday, you could actually do the upper air training online. And maybe if you wanted to, you could probably go up to Morehead City and they'd let you shadow them. Other local program service evolution targets can affect implementation, such as hurricane training would not just be done at intermediate or advanced levels, but it would be done for all grades, because that's number one, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to learn. The curricula it has 5 different groups or dimensions. There's an information management, data collection, and quality control, and you can see the definition. You can read those. There's also how to generate forecasts, outlooks, watch and warnings, diagnose the environment, etc. You have an IDSS section, you have a management, teamwork, and leadership section, and also integration of science and technology. And these 5 dimensions were used from the GS5-12 competency model. This is what the curricula is based on. As you can see, the 5 dimensions. As you notice on the left-hand column, if you can see my mouse there, this is all the levels for, like, dimension 1 is the information, so it's probably the smallest one. You can see there's a basic and intermediate section, and on the right there's an advanced supplement. Dimension 2 breaks down into the major program categories like aviation, marine, fire weather, etc. You have the advanced level on the right, DSS, the basic, intermediate versus the advanced, and so forth through all 5 categories. One thing you may find if you go on to this afternoon, you're curious and want to look at it, you go on and you may look and click on an advanced supplemental section and it's empty, it says placeholder. Well, they're still developing that. Most of the basic intermediate is already planned because it was based on the intern plan from the past, but expect more and more information opportunities and things to come into that curriculum. This is an example of the winter weather curricula for advanced supplemental. And this is what would probably would require for, make sure they've done, forecasters done 12 through maybe 11 through 13 level, our interns. But if we were in Caribou, we would probably be using this quicker in the implemented training than we would in Miami or even down here, because it's all priority of what's your situational weather, and we do have control with that. So I just wanted to show that. The other thing is, as focal points, I talk about if there's something locally we need to do, we can set up an area on here that's local to the office. I still there's doing training sessions for the training officers, and I'm taking my next in a couple of weeks. So maybe by the first of the year, I'll know how to do that if we want to look at doing that in the future. Now, let's look at just some comments about training in the science team. It's been mentioned earlier by Vicki and Mark. The science team, we had a meeting back in Q4, and some of the things that came out from the group that we really wanted to focus on. One was the total water levels, be able to use the new version of that, get a little more understanding. And a lot of this information that we came through the science team was input from everyone when Mark asked what our priorities should be. So we've already we've been doing the total water levels. Matt's going to be, I know, doing some one-on-one training coming up, but that training was already, the online version was already taken. Frost training fell out of that survey, and Vicki and Mark and the rest of the group did a great job presenting that to us, really helped us a lot. The other thing that I think a lot of people put in the survey was forecast quality. And we're looking at that, and you'll see some things that already popped up. Steve did an excellent job. Have you put the hot wash out to everybody yet? I can't remember. Steve, I'm not sure. But we'll have hot washes, and that's going to be like a quick turnaround on what happened, what equipment, equipment problems, forecast issues, training issues, anything, and we go through that. Very similar to what we do hot washes with the region and the national level on like hurricanes. Also, we'll focus more on operational topical drills, and you'll see topic drills, not topical, topic drills. And that was example, we now have the hazard services for non-river flooding, just so people go through it more often and we're more comfortable when we need to do it. Usually with the non-river flooding, it's a little quicker amount of time you have to turn it around. And I know for like Mark's not on the call, Mark Willis is not on I. When we had to issue just regular basic flood warning updates for multiple points, we kind of struggled because we hadn't done. I don't think he had done it. I'd only done it for one point. So we used the job sheets and got through it, but it's just a familiarity of it. And then we're going to be getting more products down the line, and especially when we get to short fuse convective warnings, we're going to have to be a lot quicker on being able to get through this. And I think they did a great job picking products where we can take a little more time issuing and get used to the software. And I do like it. I'll see if I still like it when we do convective. The other thing about the forecast quality is we had a few people meet, and we're going to put a survey out and see what you think you would like to see on forecast quality have improved, and give us like top 3 items that we need to focus on, and we'll explain that a little bit farther along. I'm hoping to have the drill out into next week, and then have until the end of the month to answer. And I hope everybody will participate in it, because I really think it will help. And we want to know what we need to do to help. And forecast quality goes from higher, what we send out to the public, the assess products, all the way down to the nuts and bolts of the grids. So it's wide open, and we'll try to pick 2 or 3 and concentrate on those and try to improve that. We're not going to put 75 things out where it's almost impossible, but we'll slowly chip away at that. One of the other training that a lot of offices are using now, and I know Vicki and Jordan and Ian to some extent have been exposed to the flooding application Flash from MRMS, and it's also in version 12 in the QPE. And I want us to cover that, and use Flash has been very beneficial, especially in urban areas, which like Myrtle Beach, Florence, Wilmington, etc., compared to the FFMP. And that data is also on AWIP. So we'll be doing that. Now it will probably be late winter, early spring, we'll start that. Other items, and we talked about fire weather, and that was, Jordan talked about the fire weather matrix versus observations. He wants to look at that. Plus, he talked about some of the other things in his talk. The other thing is Mark really wants to see us do more case studies, quick turnaround case studies. So we'll try to do that. And when he also said quick turnaround, Wes says that was one of the inputs the people gave to him. And so what that would mean is we have it, let's say we have a tornado wreck, we'll load the data and we'll set it up, and you'll go on and be able to just sit at your own pace and just do the Wes for that severe weather event. And it's also kind of a review of the event.